Oh my gosh, I didn't realize this is recording this whole time.
You keep saying you're gonna like post it. I'm like, I don't know if she's recording.
Yeah, I just started the recording. Also, it recorded me like walking around this room for about 4 minutes before I sat down because I didn't know it would do that. Okay, so anyway, so I wanted to just talk about goal setting, because if we want to have like a success in our business, like we need to know where it's going. And so there's a couple of things that I was personally reminded of with my own goals that I set for myself early in my business. And then if it gives you, just giving you something to work towards, like, can make all the difference. Liz, you have someone else wanting in your group. But anyway, so what I wanted to do, I have notes. I'm going to find them. Give me just a second. I need to move my browser over here.
While you're looking at that, you want to see, I don't know how to flip the camera on this.
Turn the phone around.
Okay.
I want to see your view.
The mountains.
Yeah. Cloudy.
And then we have a really crappy room as far as this, but you can still see the ocean.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Hi, Nikki.
Hey.
Like, I'm in bed, girl. But you're going to be awake. I love the view, Liz. So that's amazing. All right, so we're talking about goals. I just hit the record button so everyone can fast forward 97 minutes. It'll be about 4 or 5 maybe. So, and I know some of y'all are doing this and some of you aren't. And so, and I've had one-on-one calls with some people, but not with everyone. Because, you know, so I just want to talk about the importance of setting goals and how to set them and that kind of stuff, because it's important. Okay, so I'm pulling up, I have a couple of documents right now. I'm pulling them up. And if you want to, what I'm going to try to do is send out this stuff in a document to like post it after the training. But the thing that we've been talking about in this group is that, you know, consistency is like key, and then that just continuing to like show up and create brand awareness and create meaningful interactions with your people and with potential customers, finding who your what we call your cold market is. I always tell people, if you can find your cold market is the people that don't know about Agnes and Dora. Okay, and so I would say right now we're somewhere in the realm of tens of thousands of customers, and there's how many million women in America that can afford Agnes and Dora women clothing? There's a lot. So I know that most of you know that just by spending time in your communities, and a lot of you decided to do this because you're like, oh my gosh, like I still know so many people that don't know anything about these clothes. And so the first thing, this is not really about goal setting, but one of the first things I always tell people is that if you can be the first person that someone connects to the brand to, not all the time, but the majority of the time, that's going to create like a loyal customer to you. And that's going to create someone who has an attachment to the brand to you. So if you're the one to introduce them, if you're the one that develops that trust on sizing and fit and style and quality of the clothing, then they're going to attach that to you. So it's just like kids forming attachments, okay? So they feel secure in that, and they're going to keep coming back. And so it's not true all the time. You've got some people that'll shop around and do things like that, and that's fine. But a lot of the time, that may be someone who's been familiar with it before. And so where you have potential to grow is where people don't know the brand. That's like the best piece of advice that I can give you. So if you know that your local market doesn't know the brand, then that's a good place to start. If you know that, and that's why I was telling Nikki, like, share your lab in your dog grooming group, because they probably don't know the brand. So, whereas if you're, and I hope that no one is in there, and if you're in there, I would say just get out of it. But there are like Agnes and Dora shopping groups online, and that is not a place where we can build a business in a healthy way, or we can reach our potential in a healthy way. Yes, once in a blue moon, you'll see me post somewhere like that. Usually it's when I'm having a clearance sale and I just want stuff to go away. Okay, so that's not our target market. Our target market is someone that doesn't know. Oh, there's a baby. So cute. So anyway, okay, so one of the things about goal setting that I wanted to talk about is I want to talk about two things. One is I want to talk about actually creating like a business plan for your business. Ooh, am I still there? Okay. And so I'm pulling that up right now. I've got it in a Word document, I think. But I have like a lot of Word documents open, and I'm not the most organized person. I'm like, Liz, how would you describe me? I'm like the smart person that's all over the place, but I'm going to get it done. Right?
You're more of like a creative person.
So you're saying, but I'm not smart.
No, you are smart. I'm not saying. But like you're creative and scatterbrained at the same time.
But I'm
together at the same time, but really scatterbrained in mine. But like we're different, but it doesn't matter. We can get to the same result.
Right. I'm very high functioning. Okay, so here it is. I found it. It's just that I always have like a million things going on. I'm probably listening to like 5 different books right now on Audible. Like I don't just start one and finish it. Got them all going. Nikki's like, is that you? Okay. So well, I thought I had it pulled up. Dang, hold on.
I am so very much like that, Ashley.
Well, I'm glad that someone can appreciate it. You know, the only time in my life I have ever lived and died by a planner, not lived and died, but lived and breathed by one, is when I was in college and I didn't have a choice. It was probably grad school because I had, you know, like a million classes and a full-time job and a clinical and like that kind of thing. But even with my kids, I need to be better. Okay, so is that my computer dinging? So I know that for the sake of like recording trainings, I should be a bit more organized, and I do apologize. I thought I had it all open and then I moved my computer. So I'm going to pull up 2 things. So the first thing I wanted to do that I think would be really wise. So there's 2 areas of goal setting that I wanted to focus on. And it's really just, you can focus on both of them or you can focus on none of them. If you focus on none of them, then it's really hard to know where the train is going. Okay. So, so one of the things that I wanted to focus on was creating a business plan for your business. Because whether you think of it that way or not, okay, I became a brand stylist, I'm going to style clothes and I'm going to earn some money. But you have made yourself a business person and you have made yourself, hi Sheila. You have made yourself someone that is going to run a business. So yeah, I think part of that scatterbrain thing, Julia, I just read your comment too, is just like being a woman. Like our brain is always taking care of everyone else, taking care of this job and like what's on the grocery list. I say sometimes that my brain's at max capacity, and so if it's not super pertinent, it doesn't stick. Or I have to lose something for anything else new to come in. Okay. So now I have one more email I'm trying to pull up. I had a friend of mine that is a brand stylist share something with me. Yay! People are paying their bills. Okay, good sound. Here it is. Okay. So is this, no, it doesn't tell.
Y'all, Moose says hi. Can you see him? He says hi.
Moose. Oh my gosh, what did my computer just do? Yeah, I'm struggling right now. Okay. There it is. Okay. So one of the first things I want to do is to talk about like a business plan. And so I have a template for this. It's very vague, sort of. It's real specific in what it wants you to do, but it's real open so that you kind of have all the freedom to fill it out. And so this will be something that I'm going to post to the group wall. So what I would like, what it will do is it will kind of help you think about like a big picture vision for your business. But then also we'll talk about like your own goals for your own self within the business. So we'll get into talking about our why and all of that kind of stuff. Ultimately, we need to have a vision for our business, and we need to have, yes, that's true, Nikki. See, I just read a comment, got distracted. But we need to have a vision for what we are and for where we're going, so that we can see those kinds of progress. So I joke about like being disorganized, but I'm really not. At the end of the day, I know what I'm working for. I know what's most important to me. I'm going to make sure that those things are taken care of. And I'm going to make sure that I have implemented the behaviors that I need to implement, whether it's with my children, whether it's with my spouse, whether it's with I'm not really good at like the dog thing, so we're not going to talk about that. But whether it's with whatever area of my life that I know these are goals that I want to reach. And so ultimately, when we're talking about a business plan, I want to send out this form, and I'm also going to send out, this is not something that I want you guys to like share all over social media. It's really for your use. And the reason I'm saying that is because it was given to me by a friend of mine who also runs a boutique business. And so I would like to keep it just it's just for our use. She's not like she's giving me permission to use it for training, but she's not giving me permission to just like share it with the world. Okay. So basically what we want to look at, and I'll kind of give you an idea of what this is. But so we want to look at a big picture vision for our business. So I'm going to give you an example of the friend of mine, like how she wrote hers out. Okay. So it says this boutique will be a creative, fun-filled business that provides the following. And this is like what she's looking for. And she's writing it out very specifically. A unique shopping experience online through social media and or in-home boutique, catering to busy moms. That was her goal. She wanted to create a shopping experience for busy moms. She wanted them to be able to come over, dump the kids in the playroom with her kids, find a cute outfit, and get on with it because it's really hard to take kids to a school. Okay, that was her goal. That may not be your goal at all. You may not want to have an in-home type of space. But that was her plan. Okay, so then she thought about a business mission statement. And you can, I'm not gonna like define what is the mission statement. You guys get the picture. Her mission statement was to clothe women of all sizes in a unique and comfortable way so they feel powerful, strong, and beautiful. Okay, so to me, it's a great mission statement. Like, what's the purpose of what we're doing? Why did we choose this? Why did we choose clothing of all things? You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just really important to kind of, like, I know you guys are out there working and you're hustling, and you're working on getting that sale and you're working on implementing all these activities, but I want it to be what the purpose of your goal for your business is and what the mission of your business is. And then what it is also for you personally. So we'll talk more about that. So when you're creating a business plan and goals, you're going to include objectives. So you may have objectives like, y'all know what an objective is. Why am I here, right? Okay, so, or what's the purpose of this? So the objective these are her objectives, and I'm just reading this off to you because I do think it's very helpful. For her, it was to make back her initial investment within 3 months. Okay, guys, we paid $199 and whatever the cost of our samples is. And the samples is something that will be a recurring cost, but you're also not going to be looking for size runs of things. You're going to be grabbing maybe 1 or 2 of something that you would have bought anyway if you were a customer. And then the other way to look at that too is, and I can't go into depth about it right now, but there is eventually going to be a way for us to move our samples, and the company is going to give us really specific instructions on how to do that. So right now you don't go into like a buy sell trade and dump them for 80% off. That's not cool. That's not what we need to be doing with them. But there is going to be a specific plan for that. I don't want to paint that picture for you until I know exactly what it's going to look like. I have an idea. But anyway, there's a lot of more assets and tools and helpful things coming, but they're not coming tomorrow because we are building a thing right now. Okay, Agnos and Dora is building a thing right now. So anyway, I don't want you to super stress about that. And there also will come a time where if someone else in this group is your size and you guys want to say, hey, I'm done with this, just want to swap them out or trade for a couple of pieces or sell them or whatever, I don't mind that. Okay. But there is a plan for what to do with samples. That's a side note that stays here. Okay. Oh no. Okay. Sorry. So anyway, so the objective of this business is to make back an initial investment. She wrote out financial goals to make a side income of $500. She wanted to make $500 a week. That was her goal. To add to her family savings account. And she wanted to do that within 6 months. Then her other goals were to be able to learn how to manage a business, which is something is a good goal for all of us. And then she had another goal to attend 4 in-person events a year where she could sell product directly to customers and grow their brand in the first year of her business. Okay. So if you look at the goal, or if you look at objectives are specific, they're measurable, and they're time limited. Okay. And if you've ever worked anything medical where you write charts, Julia's like, I understand this. When I wrote goals in my life, I love it. But even guys, when I was a mental health clinician and someone was dealing with depression, we had to write out objectives, and we had to say our goal is that we will reduce whatever suicidal thinking from this many times a month to this many times a month. And here's how we're going to do it. Doesn't always fit real neatly into that box, but at the end of the day, we could look at what a real specific goal was, and then we would have strategies for how we were going to achieve that. And so I want you guys to come up with really specific objectives for your business. And we can talk about realistic and unrealistic goals here in a little bit. And it doesn't matter whether you started this business last month or last year or 10 years ago, which none of us were here 10 years ago. But the point is that we always need to have a goal, and those goals we may meet goals and then we may rewrite them and readjust them and move on with them. And so it's kind of that whole, where there's no vision, people will perish. I believe that 1000%. I think if you're not working towards something, you're slipping backwards, and that's not what we want to be doing in our business. So, so specific, measurable, and time-oriented is what I'm looking for on goals. So I will post a blank version of this. And I don't care if you have 1 objective for your business. I'd like to see 2 or 3, but I'm actually going to post this. And for whoever watches this, and hopefully there'll be some people catch the replay, but I would love for everyone to fill it out. I think sometimes we don't really think about what they are until we write them down. Okay. And then we can talk about strategies for how to reach such goals. So, and there's some great strategies my friend wrote out. And I think that when we had our last Zoom call, we were talking about things that were working for us. We kind of, coincidentally started brainstorming strategies for how to run our business. So I don't have to read all of these off to you, but you know what? I'm tempted to because because there may be something on here that you haven't thought of. So, so I'm going to do that kind of quickly, and I think it's really smart. So these goals included the strategies, not the goals, the strategies. So you had big vision and a mission statement, objective strategies, and then we'll talk about how we're going to put them into action. So I'm not trying to be boring, but sometimes we need to talk about this kind of stuff. So strategies for this included things like reach out to my personal friends and let them know about my new business. Hey guys, I just wanted to let you know I'm opening a clothing business. Hey guys, I don't know if you know, but I run a online clothing business. It's super awesome. I'd love for you to check it out. Like, how many times do we just like start something and we don't tell people what we're doing? People care about us. I mean, I don't know about you, but everybody's got some friends or acquaintances or people that they go do stuff with, or yeah. But I mean, I just think that, or some type of family member or something. So I think it's important to just reach out and let people know what you're doing. You know, I was at I took the girls to like a play place like last month after school. It was like 100,000 degrees outside, and Piper was like, Mom, can we go to this indoor play place in town? And I was like, okay, I'll take you guys on Thursday. So has a cousin that lives here in town who also has kids the same age. And so she messaged me, and she was like, she's never bought clothes from me, never talked about clothes from me, could care less about fashion. She's like, look at me. I wear t-shirts from college. That's who she is. And we took the kids to the play place, and I did not sit there and talk to her about clothes. And before the conversation was over, she goes, I really need to come see you and try some stuff on. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, I run a clothing business. Come to my house. But I mean, it's just like, we've never had a conversation about it, you know? And so I didn't go searching it out, but I also sure as heck going to talk about it if it comes up. And I thought to myself, you know, like, what if she's one of these people that wears her college t-shirts because she just doesn't feel confident in anything, you know? And so we have like a time scheduled. We haven't actually done it yet. She tried to come when I did my open house, and she's not a people person. And I was like, you probably don't want to come right now. but anyway, so we have a time set up this month where she's going to come after school one day, bring her kids, and they're going to play, and we're going to do an appointment for her. Anyway, but just telling people what we do. This business plan included something really creative, which this would work really well if you have young children. But her goal was to sponsor a MOPS meeting in her area, the mothers of preschoolers, which she said it would probably cost her a little bit of money to do that. But she wanted to do that to grow awareness, because her vision for her business was to reach out to busy moms. Okay. I can guarantee you busy moms are not her only customers, but that was who she envisioned being her target market. She wanted to stay active on social media by posting every day in all networks or groups that she was a part of. She wanted to host a launch party at her house for close friends and neighbors, like Julia has just done. Manage inventory and keep prices reasonable for her target audience. She was targeting her business to young moms, and so she was looking at price points. You know, I did not target my business to young moms. I targeted my business to young professionals because they're working, okay? So I'm just saying, like, there's, you know, you think about who your target market is that way. And then, but I have a little bit of everyone, and I do carry a variety of price points. And then things like, and then one of her goals was to post on her social media every day, keep her algorithms moving. I'm not an algorithm queen. Nikki's learning all about that right now. But I have worked my business successfully on Facebook for 2 years. And so I really know what I do know what they're doing, even if I don't know how to talk it. I know that posting consistently, I know that going live, and I know that anything that you can do to promote engagement is going to help. She's smirking at me. But basically that's it. So if you go AWOL for 2 weeks, your group's going to be dead. That's the bottom line. And so if you're going to be out of town, schedule posts ahead of time. But anyway, basically these are strategies, and sometimes our strategies are also kind of goals. I'm going to reach my big goals by posting every day on Facebook, but then sometimes I need to make a plan for how I'm going to implement that strategy too. So anyway, okay. So those are good strategies, and I'm sure we could come up with a list of so many other things. And then she came up with an action plan. She said, I'm going to start a Facebook group and a business page prior to launching my business. I'm going to create an easy to use website, which we have an easy to use website. Look at that. He looks like a teddy bear, Nikki. Like the color and everything looks like a teddy bear. So cute.
He is a teddy bear.
He is a teddy bear. Look at him.
He's a cuddle bug.
I need a cuddle dog.
I call him my Velveteen Rabbit because he's just like this all the time. He looks like a stuffed animal.
How old is that one?
5 months.
I'm
He's huge.
ready to rehome mine.
Oh, no. No, don't say that. I have 6.
I'm over it. Oh my gosh. And I'm such an animal, like I'm such a dog lover. This dog and we're struggling. Okay.
Is it the young one?
Yes. No, the old one I'll keep until she dies. But this one, no. I mean, I don't know. Something's going to have to give. We finally put up a baby gate. She's just not allowed upstairs.
How old is she?
She's born in November.
Almost a year.
10 months.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's doing really good. And then she just like has had a rapid decline. I don't know if she hit her head. I need to be nice. I promise I love animals. Okay. Anyway. Okay, but you get the idea on the business plan. So that I'm going to post like a blank one, and I'm going to throw that out there for you guys. I would love for every person to fill it out, and I'll do a post about it too. That way, if people don't go back and walk this or watch this, and that's fine. But I just kind of wanted to share that I think that would be helpful, and I don't know what you guys think. But let's like get grounded from where we're at now with our businesses, and give ourselves some vision for where we're headed. And you may have already done all this, and that's fine. Just write down what you already know and put it out there. But maybe there's some adjustments you want to make. And I will tell you this too: your goals and you want them to be. You want to write them down. I would say you want to write them down with one of those erasable pens, because at the end of the day, we also have to learn to be flexible. And by writing down our goals and trying different things, sometimes it helps us learn what direction is a good direction for us. And so anyway, I had a really good conversation with Kat about that today. And we were just kind of talking about how there's so many women that do so well at this business, and we really do it a lot of different ways. And so we're not going to find this magical flow chart that tells us you do this and this and this and this and this, then here's the outcome. But what we're looking at is, what are my goals? What are my strategies? Those strategies are basically the tools in the toolbox. They're the methods that you can implement. And we talked about this last time, but those income producing activities, and some of them are not income producing, but they're necessary. So being able to utilize those things. Okay, so there's that. I'm not going to keep y'all super late. I'm not totally done though. I wanted to show y'all. I don't think it printed. I'm going to screen share real quick because I wanted to show y'all this other paper, this other document, which is something that I personally used early on in my business. Also was given to me by a friend who's fancy with graphics. I am not fancy with graphics. I'm not a graphic designer. Some people in this business are really good at that kind of thing. Not me. Okay. My sister could do it. She's amazing at that kind of thing. Here maybe? Okay. I'm looking. Hold on. really slow. My computer's being very slow. Not in that one. Nope. All right, let me look somewhere else. Okay. I just had it pulled up, guys. Like literally, it was just here. Thank you for your patience with me. So I'll find it real quick. Here it is. Okay. So this is a specific financial goal tracker. And I'll just do a quick screen share and show you what it looks like. I literally used to print this out, and I used to use it every month in my business. A friend made one up, and we would write out the numbers that we were wanting to sell, what our goals were, and then we would color in the bubbles until we got to where we wanted to be, because there was something valuable about seeing it written down and seeing it written down. And your goal might be, I want to sell $500 this month. Your goal might be, I want to sell $100 this month, which if that's your goal, then we need to talk about your business. And no judgment, but we really do. But your goal might, I just want to hit $1,000, and then maybe it goes up from there. I mean, I hope it does. But what happens when you start to reach a goal, then you can start to set a new one and you can build on that. Let me screen share really quick. This is what it looks like right here. And I will post this in the group. Can y'all see this thing right here? Can y'all see it? So this will be something that you could download and print. I wouldn't care. Can you see it? Give me a thumbs up if you can see it, because you're all muted. Okay. So literally, I would take this and I would write it, I would print it out every month, because numbers aren't everything, but they are important when we're looking at what we're working towards. And I didn't really know, like what I did when I set out my financial goals for my business, where I wanted to start out realistic. I mean, I started out with what I thought were pretty, like I would almost set like a dream goal for the month, and then I would set like a realistic goal for the month, so that way, if I met my dream goal for the month, yay, I'm super excited. I'm like over the moon. But if I reach my kind of lower goal, then it was a way for me to like not be hard on myself, if I had a slower month. Because honestly, girls, like things happen. We know this. Like we have kids, we have husbands, we go on vacation, we get the flu, like crap happens, so like, or, and so that was always the question at the end of the month, is if I didn't reach my goal, then what held me back? Was it physically something like out of my control? Did I just not do the work? Did I not try? Did I schedule anything this month? Did I post every day? Like those are the questions that I'm asking. And you can not post on Saturday or Sunday, and it's not going to kill your business. I just want y'all to know that. Like you can do those things. But anyway, so this page right here is just a weekly goal tracker. And it's just these cute little hexagons. It's not anything fancy. I would write up a number that I was looking for at the top, and then I would physically break it down week by week. So like, let's say I wanted to sell, and I'm just making up a number here, but let's say the goal is 5,000, okay? And that's a big goal, but that's 40% commission. Like that's a really exciting number to hit. And that might be your goal in 6 months, not today, okay? But if the goal was 5,000, then I would take 5,000 and I would divide it by 4 weeks, which is what, guys? Okay, 1250. I suck at math. So I would go right here and I would write out 1250, 1250, 1250, 1250. And then it's not like a calendar, but I would go over here and I would write out, this is the first of the month. It's on a Tuesday. Okay, so I'd be like, this is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I would kind of make little tick marks on this. And then I would say, okay, so like like these 3 days, my goal is to sell $400. And then I would say, what am I going to do in those 3 days to sell $400? Okay. So, because I can't do nothing. And this is kind of a big number. Honestly, the goal might be $1,000. We might write it out 250, 250, 250, 250. Okay. But just whatever it needs to be. And then you break that 250 down for the week. And you're saying, okay, so in these 3 days, my goal is, $80. Basically, $85 for that 3 days or whatever. And so you're going, what do I need to do to try to sell that? Because it's not like it just magically happens. And so then what I would do is I would say, okay, in these 3 days, if I'm going to sell $80, or if in these 3 days, my goal is to sell $250, then what do I need to do during that time? I'm going to go live and I'm going to style some product, or I'm going to reach out to 5 ladies that have told me they love the clothing and say, hey, I'm scheduling personal shopping appointments this week. Is that something you would like to do? I'd be so excited to have you come over. Or I would say, whatever else I would do. Or I would say, okay, I know that this week I want to make that. So I'm going to schedule a party for week 2 of the month, or host another open house. Or I know that guys want to watch a football game, so I'll host a shopping night at the same time. The men can go shop, can go do that, and we'll come over and do this. So anyway, I don't know if that's helpful or not, but that was something I literally did in the early days of my business, and I did this solid for a year. And I would just change and adjust that number every month. I would change and adjust the number based on, like, if I knew that I was not going to work for 9 days out of that month because I had a trip planned or something like that. Like, I would try to set it very realistically. But I would write out the numbers, and then I would go and I would get my trusty calendar open, and I would literally write in what are my income producing activities that I'm going to do. I'm going to post a flat lay. I'm going to download Pic Collage, and I'm going to download free to use photos, and I'm going to do postings for wall claims or whatever. And just because you post it doesn't mean someone will bite, but sometimes you post it and everybody bites. You know what I mean? So, anyway, the point is it's about making it this tangible thing that you can implement, whether your goal is to sell $500 for the month or your goal is to sell $5,000 for the month. And so I think that we can get these ideas in our head, and then we have to look at, like, okay, what does it take to actually get there? And then breaking it down week by week. That was probably one of the most beneficial things I ever did for my business. And it really helped paint a picture for me for what's it going to take. And I'm the kind of person that if I said, I saw $80 worth of clothing in 3 days, I didn't stop until I sold the $80. And so I'm not telling you that that's how you have to be. I can tell you that the first, you're going to find a lot about your business and about what you're willing to try and what you're willing to do in the first 90 days of your business. I can guarantee you, and Sheila can probably relate to this, the first 90 days of our business, we weren't real comfortable going live. Were we? And we probably weren't really comfortable, we were probably nervous ordering certain styles because we didn't know them very well. We were probably anxious about what if nobody shows up, or what if everybody shows up, oh, it's football season. So I can't go live on Friday nights. Baloney, you can too. You can show up whenever you want to show up. And sometimes people will show up and sometimes they won't. But at the end of the day, like, if you have a goal of $500 for the month or $1,000 for the month, $1,000 for the month gets you roughly, that leaves you in the 25% tax or commission brackets. That's overall, you're paid weekly, but overall that would be $250 in payment. So that's an extra $250 for that month that you've earned for your family. Or for yourself. Girl, it may just be just for you. Nikki's going to dig that dirt with it. And so honestly, guys, for me, I love to contribute to my family. I really love being able to do what I want without having to worry about, like, not what I want all the time. But if I want to go get my nails done or get my hair colored, extra that, you know what I mean? I don't like having to stress about that kind of stuff or stress about my kids' extra lessons or stuff like that. So I know that if I will sit down and write it out, and then I'll get my calendar out and I'll say, time to book parties for the month. Who wants to do a party, online or in person? Or I get out my calendar and I say, okay, my kids have a thing from 5:30 to 7 on this night at their school. But you know what? That means at 8 o'clock that night, I'm gonna come home and I'm gonna go live. And I'm gonna work for 2 hours that night. Because these things don't just happen and our lives are busy. And so, and I love what I do. And I think that you love it too, or I don't think you would have said, hey, I think I want to do this, you know? So, and all of these things are work, but they're fun work. And so I think they are. The only not fun part is paying taxes. God bless Agnes and Dora for trying to take that away from me. So almost there, Sheila, we're almost there. We've got to offload a few more pieces of inventory and then we can be done paying taxes. So anyway, so I don't know if that's helpful or not, but those are some things I would encourage you to do. I'm going to post this goal tracker. Get realistic. And maybe you don't know what is realistic, and that's a conversation that I'm happy and desire to have with you personally about your business. You know, $1,000 in sales a month is a $250 paycheck. $5,000 in sales a month is a $2,000 a month paycheck. Okay, so that's the difference that's a huge difference. And then you can get into starting to talk about if you have someone join your team and what that means. And so anyway, so I just wanted to share that. Sorry if it was boring, but it's really on my mind about having these written goals. When we write something down, we really give credit and power to it. I really believe that. It's kind of like how, like I grew up being like a farm, not a farm girl, but a country girl, you know, and your parents are telling you like, don't name the cows at Grandma and Papa's house because then you won't want to eat them for dinner. So when you name something, you form an attachment to it and it gives it power. And that is usually a good thing. Just don't name the pet pig. Okay, so anyway, not gonna be like, who is this woman? Sorry, those of you that are new. I'm from Arkansas, so I use stuff like that. But anyway, but the point is, it's really important. I think that we give a name to something and that we write it down and we call it something. And so I think that's essentially what we're doing to our business when we create a vision for it. And we create that kind of business plan I went over at the beginning, and it kind of brings a method to the madness, and it helps us keep this picture of what we're working towards. We're not just working towards a number, but at the end of the day, and I'll say this every time, we're here for community. We're here because we're awesome women and we want to empower ourselves and bring women amazing clothing and do all of these things. But we can't do those things without a vision for our business and without getting our business rolling. So, so those things go hand in hand, and you are going to feel more empowered when you're able to see what you're working towards and actually taking steps to get there. So anyway, what I don't like to see is people don't know where their business is going. And what I find is that when people don't have a vision for their business, it doesn't take long for their mindset to become very excuse oriented and to become very like, well, nothing's working for me. And I think sometimes it's easy to say, well, it's because you don't know what you're working towards or for, so you don't know you don't even know how to identify what's working. And then also to make sure that we have realistic goals starting out so that it doesn't turn into, well, I'm not selling $5,000 a month. Well, most people are not selling $5,000 their first month. For most people, that 500 is a really good goal. And that's a great place to start. And that is absolutely 1,000% worth celebrating. So most of you here are moms, or you have had children in your life, and you can think about when they're little and they take their first step, or, you know, they do something and they're so proud of themselves. You kind of have to think of this as like, you know, you're starting something completely new. And so every single step, every single sale, every single customer, every single person who joins your business page or your group, all of those things are worth celebrating. And I just want to make sure that along the way that we are taking time to give credit to that and to give credit to yourselves, you know, for those. That's why, like, I feel like incredibly proud that Julia did a home party. Like, I know it's just this thing, but you launched your business. Like, that is so cool. And you came and you shared that. And I was like so thankful for that. Because that means that you are doing the work to start your business. And so, and that's how you're starting yours. And there'll be people that start theirs different ways, you know? So anyway, so, okay, I'm kind of rambling at this point. Do y'all want to unmute yourselves if you have anything to say so that I'm not just like staring at you guys in silence? You don't have to stay on a whole lot longer. I know it's getting late, but are you bored to tears?
I'm not bored. I just ate a lot of potato soup and I have doggy snuggles, so I'm like, I'm about to pass out.
That sounds really good. Potato soup. I might need to.
It was. We finally had fall temperatures today, so.
Us too. We got fall temperatures. It was like 69 here after lunch, and that was crazy.
Yeah.
Very nice.
It was great.
Is it cold for you yet? Is it cooler for you yet, Julia? No.
Oh, there we go. Figured it out. No, it was like 81 today.
Hey,
Wow.
that's not like 95. So
No, it's getting better. But you guys are, I thought you'd be warmer than me, but.
We usually are, but we had a big rain system and moved through. And so yesterday was the first official day of fall. So it was kind of like, okay, it's coming. It'll get hot again. Like, I have no doubt we'll have some. But
it's going to be 95 here by Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We just got a moment. I wore my mustard today and some little ankle booties because I was like,
I wore
So
my Marsala pullover.
I'm like, it is fall today. I love it.
It was easy to do a live and show fall stuff today.
Oh, that's good. I love that. So I just realized my screen is still sharing.
So I was going to ask you,
Uh-huh.
when you were starting out, sorry, my hair's a mess. I got a massage, so it's like nasty.
Yeah.
When you were starting out and you said you just didn't give up, like you would set a goal of like $80 and you just didn't quit until you got there.
Mm-hmm.
So like, did you just go live 3 or 4 times in a week with like the same stuff?
Mhm.
Because I don't have that many samples yet. Like I can't afford to get just a bunch.
I've physically had a limited amount of product that came to me in a box from Agnes and Dora. And some of it was like a 3XL suede dress with a Hawaiian print or a hot pink pencil skirt and an extra, extra small. Or 15 pairs of really super random leggings. Now, some of it was really super cute. Sheila gets it. She knows. We're from the kit days. And so we just got a kit. We paid $3,500 minimum, and they sent us, that was wholesale price, and they sent us enough inventory that was worth that. But we didn't get to choose it. And so literally, I would go live on my business page, which is public, which anyone can see in my group, and I would share it into like miscellaneous shopping groups on Facebook. Not Agnes and Dora shopping groups, because those are not my target market. They already know the brand. I would find like no rules shopping groups on Facebook, like that. Some of them would have like 6,000 people in them. You know, they weren't all watching at once, but like some of them have more than that. The guys, like, you can find them. There are people out there searching for kids' toys and women's clothing and makeup, and some of them are no rules groups. So they don't care what you do. And I would sell sometimes, and I'd be like, I remember selling on New Year's Eve, my last day in 2017. It was the last day of 2017. And I was like, I was like, literally, I was like $200 away from like the next $1,000 mark like of my goal for that month. And I was like, I'm going to be so mad if I end 2017 not reaching this goal. And so I went live on New Year's Eve at like 3:00 in the afternoon. We were having people over that night. And I went live on my business page and I kept showing it and I kept styling it. And it took me about 2.5 hours and I sold those pieces. I invoiced the ladies and they paid them. And I just, and so sometimes it wasn't about having 20 people on. Sometimes it was about having 3 or 4 that were engaged in shopping. And so,
Yeah.
I talked to a girl in Texas last week that I have seen live. She always pops up for me. She's on her business page. Her name's Erica. I don't know if you've ever seen her. She's real cute. And she lives south of Austin. And she's so good live. And she doesn't have like a massive amount on at one time. But she was telling me one time she had 5 or 6 ladies watching her and she sold like $600 to 5 people. And so she said, honestly, it doesn't matter whether I had 20 people or 5 people. If the 5 people are buying, then they're buying, So, so that's what I would do.
My problem is August, I was able to do that. I had like 5 people and my goal was 500 and I went to 800. Like it was so easy. Like September, I've had 0 sales.
Okay.
Just like that just seems to not be working for me this month. Like it's so random.
But if you quit,
But I've scheduled 5 vendor shows.
okay, which is amazing. But if you quit going live, then nobody's going to show up and have an opportunity to buy. And so I think the most important thing is to keep showing up. If going live is how you want to run a business, Sheila's like nodding her head. Yep. Mm-hmm. The other thing is that August people were really excited because it's brand new for you. So they're trying to try it out. So those people may not like have it in their budget to just turn around and buy again, or experiencing what they've purchased. And it's still hot. The season hasn't changed. So I'm going to tell you the nature of retail is that for most, you guys are coming in prime season for October. I actually was talking to Buffy this week, and she said even for her, because, as reps, we were her customers. And she said, every September, every single year, I go, school started, kids are in school. Why are they not buying yet? And then she said, it never failed that she would start to have that feeling. And then come October, there it went. And so it's not to say that it just magically happens, but there is a shift in the retail market in October. Okay. And so just know that. But if you quit showing up, they're not going to buy in October. So I would say that even when you feel like you're kicking a dead horse, and even when you feel like I've already showed this piece, show it again. Because one of the biggest not mistakes, but one of the biggest flaws that we had in our previous system is that, we had so much inventory coming in so quickly that we were in this sell it to customers, and if it doesn't sell immediately, then try to get rid of it type of mentality. Try to sell it to other reps, see who needs it, get it out of your house. And honestly, it was a really poor method, because if you study marketing, showing somebody one time is not usually what it takes for them to purchase. Typically it's them seeing an item like anywhere from 5 to 8 times. And that repeat exposure, like that number has gone up in the last 3 years. So, and I'm not quoting anything but I know that I've read articles on it and whatever. So I just always keep that in my mind too. Like this cardi right here that I'm wearing right now, I've literally been carrying it in my shop for 2 years. I think it came out the fall after I started, and Sheila's like, me too. And you know what? I'm still selling it. And I may not sell 10 of them at one time, but it's still a very relevant piece that goes. It's very classic. It's good for pattern mixing. I love it. And it's great for fall because it has half a sleeve. And so I'm going to keep my sample of it. I own one, which was which is good for me. But the point is that as long as it's in stock and seasonally appropriate and available, I'm going to keep showing it and I'm going to keep styling it, because there's going to come a day where, like this week, where I had 3 ladies they're not new customers. I had 3 ladies in my shopping group buy this cardi at retail from my site. And one of them, I didn't even know she was looking at it. Like, she's someone I talked to, and the sale came in. So the point is, you get my point. Like, you keep exposing them to that item, and then they continue to see like the vision of that item. So
since I have such a limited amount because I'm just starting,
Yeah.
I feel like I have shown that cardi 45 times. And each time it's with a different outfit, but I'm like, they've got to be tired of seeing this.
Yeah.
Like, don't they want new stuff?
So that's where what I would get into is I would try to look at creating like a cadence to, and when I say cadence, people think I mean do the same thing every time. That's not exactly right. But what I would say is, hold on, my ears closed up. What I would say is, for example, I'm going to go live. You know, for me, I like to go live twice a week. That keeps my people engaged. And it doesn't have to be a whole long sale. Sometimes it's, I'm going to go live and I'm just going to style this one thing or the second thing or whatever it is. But I would go live, and then if you're posting wall claims, like I do a live styling, then do a wall post. It doesn't have to be a claim, but it could just be you in the item drinking coffee on your couch or snuggling your dog, or it's kind of that whole them just like seeing you living your life in the product. It could just be like an engagement post or a hangout post with your people, but it's you still showing that item. And so I don't know if that makes sense, but you're continuing to like show them the relevancy of that piece. And so the other thing too, and I know that when you're starting out and it's slower, and budgeting for samples is important. And I don't know if you have anything else coming. Like, do you have anything else at all coming, Nikki?
Yeah,
Okay.
like I had samples that were for September, like in my closet, and then I ordered
Right.
a few, and the ones that are still up and fully in stock, I'm pairing with some, like I bought the corduroy jeggings when they came out, like,
Yeah.
and I'm
Okay.
still pairing with that, and then I have personally quite a few items that are coming out in October, like
Good.
that emerald jumpsuit and like several things, and then I'm placing an order for October too. But it's only like I only order about $200 worth every time, just because I do have quite a few samples, and that's just enough to add a few pieces to my wardrobe to go with it.
Sure. And I'll tell you this too. There's been some kind of conflicting opinions on how much inventory is just loaded to that site, because people are saying, well, customers are overwhelmed and this and that. I'm kind of the opinion that if it's on this site and people want to go poke around my site and just order random stuff, let them have at it. But I'm still going to style clothing, provide service to my customers of styling to them, and invoice them for what they want. So I believe that we will see quite a bit more inventory choices. I mean, we have a lot of good choices anyway, but as far as like some more like layers, cardis, that kind of thing, I think we'll see a little bit more of that coming soon. And I don't,
So like, are they going to load more every week in October
they are.
like they have?
So,
Okay.
and I don't know how relevant this is to be recorded. So, but anyway, I'm like hiding something, and I'm not. Basically, we are still technically on our previous launch schedule. Production was on schedule for how it was for launches to reps. Production of the additional pieces coming. But the beauty of all of this for you guys is that your customers are new and they know none of the product. And really the beauty of it for me is that there is so much product on there that I have never, ever, ever carried. So when you're talking about cords and you're talking about some of these pieces, the half sleeve sweatshirts, I can't even tell you, most of the samples I have right now, I had to buy. And they were, they were already in stock, like they weren't in production last month, is what I'm saying. And so, but what I did notice is that I didn't see a lot of like black cardis or like more simple layers that is that I tend to show over and over and over again to my customers because they tend to stay relevant and kind of make an outfit. And so I have personally requested that stuff become accessible really quickly. So I don't know how quick it will be, but yeah, you'll see a lot of product loaded October 1st, which you already can see in your back office. And then there will be additional product released every week on Thursdays. I will also tell you, I am really not a fan of this whole, it goes live to everyone at the same time. I'm not launching in real time, launching. Let me just tell you guys this, and Sheila can probably identify with this. There are a lot of people in the company that have been here a while and they're used to doing things a certain way. And just because they're used to doing it a certain way doesn't mean it's the best way, okay? And I don't want to sound like pompous or like I know it all, but I don't like to let, I say this all the time, I don't like to let the tail wag the dog. I don't like to let this idea determine everything that I do about my business. And I never have, and I think I try to think outside of the box, and that's probably one of the reasons why my business has been able to do what it's done. So if you see these ladies who are only caught up in what that featured collection is every month, they're thinking very small-minded because it's only 3 products, 4 products, 5 products. But if you can get yourself off of that mentality, I'm not saying you're on it, but I'm just, you will see this, and you'll see people being very vocal about it. And those are the people that are making a lot of excuses for their businesses. And so what I have learned is the product that comes out. But if I get super caught up in just that product, then I'm not looking at all these other beautiful things that I have access to, full size runs that are seasonally appropriate that my customers will buy if I bring in and show. And so anyway, I don't know, I'm on a soapbox right now, but
you're okay.
I'm not saying that to you. I'm just talking in general. Like, I really want all of you ladies to be really open to working with, I mean, there's more product accessible to y'all than we had accessible to the rep community as a whole for a very long time. So I'm pretty excited this there.
Is there anything wrong with like the featured collections, just kind of ignoring those as far as our customers know? And if it's something that I like, then I can order it and then
Yep.
2 weeks.
So,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. And so that's essentially what I was getting at. And if you watch my group, I'm not launching product on Thursdays just because it goes live on my site. I picked what I ordered the sample, and then I brought that in, styled it for my customers. So I did a test run just to see. Now, if you're not going to physically bring in the product and you're going to show, hang on, are we frozen? I feel like Nikki's frozen, and I know Sheila just had to turn her video off for a second. But Nikki, you are totally frozen.
No.
So you know. You're like this. So.
I'm back.
Are you back?
Can you see me now?
Yeah, but maybe your internet did something weird when you went outside.
It's probably because you're outside.
Probably. But anyway, so what I'll tell you is if you want to launch forward-facing feature collections to your people live on Thursdays, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to tell you that's the wrong way to run your business, but my people aren't used to that. So if at some point Agnes and Dora decides we're not going to do this on Thursdays, we're going to do this on Fridays, my customers don't know the difference and they don't care. Like, I run my business. I don't let that cadence determine everything. And I also don't get them super caught up on what's this new thing dropping on the website every week. Because if I do that and something doesn't drop the next week, then I don't have people who are going, where's it at? You know what I'm saying? So like, there's absolutely, at this point in our businesses and the way the model is working, there's nothing wrong with your customers not knowing what a featured collection is.
Okay.
And I believe that very strongly. I'm not saying that that couldn't change in the future, but for the foreseeable future, just because that language is being used by the company and by a majority of people doesn't mean that it has to be the way your business functions, or that it may be the best way for your business to function. So,
I just don't think I'll ever tell them that it's a featured collection because I might not always be able to bring it to them. You know what I mean? And my customers are not going to respond to me just saying, go check my website because these featured collections have dropped. They're not going to care. They want to see it on me. I don't know why.
Yeah.
They just relate to me better on a live. I sell more on a live than I do. I don't sell anything for wall drops or wall claims or posting like that.
And so, you know, and that's probably more like my business in terms of how I sell. And I'll tell you, there are women who will watch this. There are women who will run their businesses very successfully by only posting selfies and by writing a lot of really personal content, almost like blogging to their group members. You know, you met Kelsey Barber at my house. Kelsey runs an amazing business, and she never goes live. She literally orders the clothes and posts selfies, but when she writes to her customer, it's not, here's a shirt, here's the sizes, buy it.
Right.
Like, she's a blogger and they're her audience. And so she has created this whole community of women that know her. They know her. They know that she's a military spouse who travels, who gets moved every 3 years. They know that, you know, when her kids are sick, they know that that's what she's cultivated and that's what she has grown. And so she's created this very personal experience just through posting in her group. And so I don't ever want someone to think that going live is the only way to sell and to make an income with this business. And I don't want anyone to think that, you know, this won't work. I can tell you that when I posted this, I'll show you. Here it is on the floor. This is what happens. Throw it on the floor. Liz is not here to help me not be a slob. She doesn't like clean for me, but she's like, Ashley, pick up your clothes. So this top is so beautiful. Okay, it's gorgeous, right? I'm a little obsessed with it. So I ordered it, or I posted it when I was traveling with headquarters. I posted it just to see what would happen. I was kind of like trying it out. And so I did a wall claim on this and the Toffee sweatshirt party. And I posted stock photos and I was like, brand new. You can pre-claim it now. You can get it now, you know, whatever. So guess how many shirts I sold? I sold 2. Okay, 2 shirts, which, I mean, maybe that would be great. I have a business I've been running for almost 2.5 years. And when I went live with this shirt and I styled it live, I sold like 12 or 13 of them. So that's just the difference in my business. But that's what I have cultivated. That's what I have grown. And that doesn't mean that that's exactly how you'll grow your business. We're going to have ladies that come in and they're going to be really good social sellers. And they're probably going to light up Instagram and they're probably going to light up social media. And they may already have followings on these things. And they may come in and post this beautiful picture and drop a link, and they may sell 12 that way. You know what I'm saying? Or they might sell one that way. I don't know. But either one is not right or wrong, and it's not a win or a loss. If I'd only sold the first two, it's still selling two of a shirt that I hadn't invested in as a sample. So you kind of have to look at it that way too. Is when I did the wall claim and I sold two of them, maybe it wasn't all 12, but I hadn't bought this either. So I hadn't invested in it. So what I'm personally going to do is the pieces that I feel like I can probably relate to a customer and sell more quantity of, just because like I know my ladies love everyday tees. This is a safe bet for me just in style. And then I also kind of saw their comments, even though they didn't buy from the wall posts, there were a lot of, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Oh my gosh, whatever. But for whatever reason, when I have it in person and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can go to sleep in this, then they want to buy it. Okay, so what I think my strategy will be with samples, which this is not really where, anyway, I love the conversation with this direction, but this strategy,
I'm sorry.
no, I love it. So what I will do is I will look at, and I've always done this, maybe I'll look at a couple of the new featured tops, and it's fun to be able to say this is a brand new style with Agnes and Dora. If you love an everyday tee, you're going to love the fit of this top. You know, it's fun to be able to say that. So I ordered one handkerchief tee, not all three. Okay. But anyway, but my strategy is going to be pick one of the samples that if there's three different colorways, don't order all three festival tops, the samples that are coming out this week. You may not order any if you don't like the top, but maybe pick one of them, describe the fit and the sizing and the style, and then promote that one super heavy. And then after maybe you've sold one or two or four or five or whatever you're going to sell of that one top, then you say, guys, I know several of y'all love this style. Look at these other two beautiful prints I've got for you today. They don't know that they all came out at the same time, but you've created them knowing that product, loving that product, and you've not invested in every single piece that came out. And so I'm going to invest my money in something I can style multiple ways. I bought this dolman and I styled it like 6 different ways. So I really got my bang for my buck on spending money on this sample. And I was able to style it with pieces I already had. But I'm not going to be buying a ton of dolmens because they're not my best seller. But I need to make sure that I'm reaching my dolman ladies. And they're a good price point. They're $36. But anyway, so I don't know if that's helpful. But I'm not going to be spending my sample money on pieces I think I'm only going to sell like less of. And then I'm going to invest in that piece that I think is a showstopper, that I think people are really going to be attracted to. Like if I take this to a home show, people are drawn to that and it looks like fall and it's gorgeous. And so that's a piece that I want to show off. And then, but then maybe I will do wall posts of the other colors of that item or the other whatever. And then I haven't invested the money in that specific print or that specific sleeve length or whatever it is. But then I'm still given an opportunity for that customer to purchase it. And it's just as accessible to them on my site through a link or for me to invoice as any other piece. So I think that's kind of where you're kind of using your judgment on, but if it lights you up when you look at it and you can go, oh my gosh, I could style that.
And that's what I've been doing. I've only chosen samples that I absolutely adore because my customers relate to my style. Like they're saying, oh, I love the way you dress. I want to buy this. If you like it, I like it. Like, cause I love how you dress. That's why they buy from me on lives and not on wall drops, because they want to see me actually put it on to know, oh yeah, I like that because it does look good on you and I think it'll look good on me. So I've been purchasing only things that I like, and they're relating to it most of the time. It's just this September has stunk.
September is also a really expensive month. I mean, I say that when you have kids, you have to pay upfront. For us, at least, in August and September both, we have to pay all those lessons upfront usually. And it's like, I mean, this is like a month. I told my husband, I was like, man, they're bringing home like the popcorn balls and then the T-shirts and the sweatshirts and like check, write a check, write a check.
Yeah.
Every week this month, I've literally written like a $40 check to Piper's school. And I'm like this is a public school. Like, and but you know what? It's just anyways. I'm just saying like when it cools off, and I'm not blaming it on that, but it's just the nature of it. It cools off.
Yeah.
People start getting excited because they have a party to plan for. They're gonna wear that to Thanksgiving, or I'm gonna buy that for me, and I love it so much. Let me get one for my mom for Christmas. That kind of thing. So you'll start to see that shift. Now,
I'm carrying on. So
I know
I'll
you
just
are.
be consistent and we'll just hope.
I'm telling you, if someone comes into this and they work hard for 30 days or 45 days or even 60 days, it's not enough. Work hard for 90 to 120 days and then come talk to me if you're not seeing some fruit.
Okay.
I mean, that's the honest to goodness truth of it. So, and it doesn't mean that, you know, and that can look very different for different people. So, which is why when you write your business plan, I want to know where you ladies are wanting to be with your financial goals, because I can't help you gauge that if I don't know. So anyway, I hope that's kind of helpful in terms of like sample talk and stuff like that. I think that, you know, what I would like to do is, and I'm starting to see more people like posting the free to use. It's not been like a ton of pictures. I posted some today, just trying to like offer some different pieces. But you know, use those, because if it's not a sample you're going to invest in, you might as well take that, make a cute post about it, describe it, and then if you have a similar style in your closet, then use it, you know? So, I mean, I have this Dolman back and sure as heck tell you how one fits, because I've got another one in my closet is what I'm saying. So anyway, okay. Anyone else have anything else they want to talk about or ask about? No, just ready to go to bed. Okay. Anyway, outfits at a time and just space them out. Julia, I like your idea about doing a live with a few outfits at a time and just space them out. I like that. And guys, don't hesitate even to do quick lives, like 10 to 15 minute, like a try on session. Let me just show you this. I have this outfit today. It's so cute. Let me show you the fit. Let me just tell you about the fabric. Let me tell you why Agnes Sandora is so amazing. And I have so much of it in my closet. And then let them know all the ways that they can wear something. And people love that. Any word on more events? What do you mean, events? Julia, do it. Am I in your group? If you don't care, I'd love to be in your group.
Sure. No, I don't know if I don't think you are.
What kind of
I
event?
meant like,
Like the cookouts?
yeah, like the brand stylist tour.
So I know they're back at the office for the rest of this month, and they're wanting to go back out in October. So I don't know where they have scheduled yet. They're actually the last I heard they were looking for hosts for October.
Okay.
So tell me what you're in.
Me. I'll be a host.
I know they want to. I know, and they know that. I think they were trying to give everybody some time at home and home with their kids, and you know, have a little bit of normalcy. Plus, obviously, we have a crap ton. So they're just working. But they're wanting to go back out in October. I do know that. So I'm like, I want to go. It's fun.
I want to go to one if they come over to the East Coast, maybe to Philly or something.
Yeah, they were looking at going to Philly. they had 2 events that they canceled. I can't remember. One was Jacksonville, Florida, and one was something else. And I'll tell you the main reason that they canceled them was because they were just general events. They weren't like at a home or at a community venue, and they want to be connected to people. They don't, I mean, Nashville worked out really well, and Nashville's probably the exception. And I don't know if it's just because, Southern people are like, oh my gosh, we're just coming together like glue no matter what happens. But they really want that kind of hometown community feel. And so it's a little bit harder to get that when you just like show up at a hotel lobby. You know what I'm saying? So I think they were having, when you have it go to someone's house, then everyone they know goes, because that's exciting, and they want to support those people. And so it just kind of creates a natural whatever. But I think that we'll see dates announced for October. Last time that was still a thing.
Maggie.
So funny. All right, I'm going to just turn off the recording just because